G'day guys, my name's Dave Trent and welcome to a Throwback Thursday edition of a GuitarZero2Hero song tutorial. And in this lesson, I'll be teaching you how to play Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day. Just before we start, I want to quickly tell you about the guitar picks that I use from a custom guitar pick company called Grover Allman. Now I've been using their picks for over 5 years now, and they can basically create any custom design pick that you want. They've made picks of famous artists like Five Sauce, Parkway Drive, Rihanna, Richie Sambora and Alice Cooper, just to name a few. And I'll just quickly show you my designs. Here's the first design that I use, and it's an etched pick design. You'll notice that the design is actually etched into the pick. And this is the second design that I use, and it's a true grip pick, so it's got small grooves on it for a non-slip surface so that I never drop my pick when I'm playing. The guys over at Grover Allman have an awesome deal for the GuitarZero2Hero viewers out there. If you hit the link in the description below or click the annotation card here and enter GuitarZero2Hero at the checkout, then you'll receive a 10% discount off your order, and they ship worldwide, so be sure to check that out. Alright, so for the basics of this song, you'll need your guitar in standard tuning and you won't need a capo. You'll need to know 8 chord shapes. Now if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to GuitarZero2Hero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Now the 8 chord shapes are E minor, B minor, C, G, D/F sharp, D, a C bar chord on the 5th string. You'll take your index finger and bar over the 3rd fret, and your root note will be here on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and then you'll take your middle ring and pinky finger and put it on the 5th fret of the 4th, 3rd and 2nd strings. That's your C major bar chord, and then we have a C minor bar chord, and those are all the chords we need for this song. So let's start with the intro of the song. It's a really easy riff to play, but it sounds really great. So what you'll do is you'll take your ring finger and put it on the 5th fret of the 4th string, and your index finger will go on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. You're going to be plucking the 4th string, then 3rd string with a down, down, and then on the 2nd string you'll pluck up, like that. So you'll go down, down, up, and you play that twice. Down, down, up, down, down, up, like that. Those 6 notes are repeated 4 times in the intro, and the intro will just sound like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up. Down, down, up, down, down, up. Now we get to verse 1. And in verse 1, we're going to remain in this position that we had in the intro, and we're going to start by plucking those 6 notes. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And then for our next position, it's fairly easy. We'll just take our middle finger and now place that on the 4th fret of the 4th string. We're going to pluck the same strings as well with the same down, down, up motion. And those 6 notes will sound like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up. Now our next position, we're going to have to switch our fingers around a little bit. Our ring finger will now go on that 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and our index finger will go on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. We'll pluck the exact same strings. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And then for the next position, we just lift our index finger. So those first 4 positions sound like this. Then we go to a C bar chord, and we're going to pluck 5th string, 4th string, and then with an upstroke, we're going to pluck the 2nd and 3rd strings together, like that. Down, down, up, down, down, up. There's one little thing that will add though to this set of 6 notes, and we're just going to tack 1 extra note at the end, so it'll be 7 notes in total for this position, and that will just be the 3rd string by itself, like that. So down, down, up, down, down, up. You'll play that 7th note with just an up pick. Now my picking suggestions are just suggestions, so if you do want to pick it with a down pick, it's up to you, but this is the most efficient way of doing it. So after the C bar chord, we go to the C minor bar chord, and we're going to do basically the exact same thing. So down, down, up, down, down, up, up, and up on that 3rd string. Remember as well on those main up strokes that you're plucking the 2nd and 3rd strings together. Down, down, up, down, down, up, up. Then we're going to go to a G chord, and we're basically going to play the same picking pattern that we had for the C and the C minor, but our bass note will be the 6th string. So we'll go 6th string, 4th string, 2nd and 3rd with an upstroke. We'll do that twice. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And then one extra up pick on the 3rd string there. And you just double those 7 notes on the G chord. So it will sound like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, up. For the next part of the verse, we basically repeat everything we've learnt there. The 4 positions here, then the C, C minor, and then the G chord. But we have one little variation, and that's on this G chord. The first time round we're playing this G chord for this length. But the second time round we're just going to halve that, so. And then the next little bit is the variation. We're going to play the G chord again, but 6th string, 4th string, upstroke with the 2nd and 3rd strings, then pluck the 4th string, and then we're going to go to a D/F sharp chord and do the same thing. So 6th string, 4th string, 2nd and 3rd with an upstroke, and back to the 4th string with the downstroke. And that section will just sound like this. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. And one more time. And that's the little variation at the end of this verse. So in total, the verse will sound like this. Now we get to our bridge, and we're going to start with our E minor here. And we're basically going to have a 7-note picking pattern here, where we do those 3 notes and repeat them, and then tack on one extra note at the end. So for the E minor, we'll be playing the 6th string, 4th string, and then the 2nd and 3rd strings with an up pick. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And the 7th little note that we're going to add to this at the end will be the 4th string for these chords. So down, down, up, down, down, up, down. We'll play that 7th note with just a down pick as well. Then we'll go to the B minor chord, and we'll do basically the same thing, but our bass note will be the 5th string here. So 5th string, 4th string, 2nd and 3rd strings with an up stroke. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down on the 4th string for that 7th note. Then we go to a C, and we're basically playing the exact same picking pattern. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down. And then after that, we're going to go to a G chord, and we're going to play the picking pattern that was at the very end of the verse, where we go 6th string, 4th string, an upstroke with the 2nd and 3rd strings, then a downstroke with the 4th string, and then change to a D/F sharp and do the exact same thing. Down, down, up, down. The next line is pretty much exactly the same, except we're not going to be doing this G to D/F sharp. After the C, we're going to go to a D chord and pluck the 4th string, 3rd string, upstroke on the 1st and 2nd strings. Do that twice. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And then we're going to end on the 3rd string with that extra little note. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down. So the first chorus will sound like this. Then we get to verse 2, and verse 2 is essentially just half the length of verse 1, so we've already learnt that. After verse 2, there's a bit of a break, and we're just going to play this riff, 6 times. It's basically the intro riff, but 6 times instead of 4. Now we get to verse 3, and it's going to be very similar to the other verses we've learnt, except we're going to be doing some strumming here now as well. So the first 4 positions of the third verse are exactly the same. Then when we get to our C bar chord, this is where we're going to strum. And it's a really easy strumming pattern. It's just 8 down strums. So the C will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we'll go to C minor. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we go to a G power chord. So that's gonna be a 6th string power chord with our index on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And then our ring and pinky on the 5th fret of the 5th and 4th string. We're going to play this for 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... The second half of this third verse is pretty much exactly the same as the first half, what we just learnt, except this last G chord is going to differ a little bit. In the first half for this G chord we played it for 2 bars, but for this second half we're going to play it for 1.5 bars. And then we're going to play this D/F sharp shape. So for that, you're just going to slide your index finger down to the 2nd fret of the 6th string. You'll leave your ring finger where it is, and your middle finger will play the 4th fret of the 4th string. So the last part of this third verse sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So you strum this G power chord 12 times and this last D/F sharp chord 4 times. And in total, the third verse will sound like this. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Now we get into the heavy chorus, and this is going to be played with all power chords. So we start with the E power chord, so we're going to play this with our index and middle finger. Now it's important that you're only plucking the top 3 strings. Everything else should be muted. So we're going to strum this for a bar, and then we're going to go to a B power chord. So index finger on the 2nd fret, and then your ring and pinky on the 4th fret of the 4th and 3rd strings. We're going to strum that for a bar. Then we go to a C power chord, so that's 1 fret up. And then we go to a G power chord, which is 1 string up from that position. We're going to strum that for half a bar, or 4 down strums. And then we're going to go to this D/F sharp chord that we had as well. And we're going to strum that 4 times as well. So the first part of the heavy bridge will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... The second half of this heavy bridge is pretty much exactly the same, except replacing the G and the D/F sharp with just a D power chord. So from the C, we just slide up 2 frets and we play that D power chord 8 times, or for 1 whole bar. So the whole heavy chorus will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... It's really important with these 5th string bar chords that you try as hard as you can not to hit this open 6th string and let it ring, because you'll get notes that don't sound very good. So a really easy tip to mute that 6th string is to just take your middle finger and you'll just rest it lightly on top of that string so it doesn't ring out. You don't push it down, just lightly rest it on top, and the rest of your power chord will ring out and the 6th string won't. Then we get to verse 4, and verse 4 is essentially exactly the same as the second half of verse 3. So it sounds like this. One and two and three and four and one and two and three and four and one and two and three and four, one and two and three and four and. Then we get to the solo of the song, and for the rhythm section of the solo, we're going to be playing the chords from the heavy chorus, so all these power chords. The only thing that we'll add to this is that at the very end of the heavy chorus, we end on a D chord, but we're going to be playing that D chord for 4 bars in total and not 1. In the previous heavy chorus, we go from the C power chord to the D. And that D is just played for 8 down strums or 1 bar. But for the end of this solo, we're going to play this D power chord for 4 bars or 32 down strums. So it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to teach you the guitar solo, and it's pretty easy to play. So for the guitar solo, we're going to start up at this 12th fret with our index and middle finger. The index will go on the 3rd string, the middle on the 2nd string. We're going to pluck the 3rd string twice with it down, down, and then up on the 2nd string. You do that 2 times. Down, down, up, down, down, up. And then you end with a down on the 3rd string and up on the 2nd string. So the 8 notes in total sound like this. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Then for the next position, you'll just slide your index finger down 1 fret, so they'll be on the 11th fret, and your middle finger will remain on the 12th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to play the exact same picking pattern. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Then for our 3rd little section, you're going to just slide both fingers up 1 fret. So your index will be on 12th, and your middle will be on 13th. We're going to play the exact same picking pattern. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then with your pinky finger, you'll place that on the 15th fret of the 2nd string. And then you'll pluck both the 3rd and 2nd strings at the same time. And you'll down strum this 4 times. 1 and 2 and then you'll slide your index finger down 1 more fret to the 11th and strum this another 4 times. 3 and 4 and. So that little section is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All with down strokes. The next 3 sections are exactly the same as the first 3 sections. So we start on 12 and 12, play that picking pattern, slide your index finger down 1, play the picking pattern, slide both fingers up 1 fret, play the picking pattern. And then after that is where it's going to differ. We're going to go to the same shape here where we have our pinky on the 15th fret, index on the 12th fret of the 3rd. We're going to strum this 8 times now and not just 4 times. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you're going to slide that index finger down 1 fret and play that 8 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then slide it back up, play it 8 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slide it back down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then to end the solo off, you just return that index finger to the 12th fret of the 3rd string and end on that note. The whole solo will sound like this. Then after the solo, we go back to our intro riff. We play that 4 times, and then we go back into our final verse. Now, our final verse is going to consist of, again, those 4 positions. Then the C bar chord strummed 8 times, C sharp minor strummed 8 times, and G strummed 16 times. going to repeat that whole section twice, and then our outro is basically just repeating the C, C minor, and the G power chord. And we do that twice as well, but on the second time you're going to end this G early. You're just going to strum it 9 times, and on that 9th strum you'll hold it out. So now I'm going to play the whole song. So now I'm going to play the song in its entirety. I'm going to have a vocal track on top for some context. So feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like until you get it right. Practice and play along. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Remember, if you want to take advantage of the special offer and get your own custom designed guitar picks, then just hit the link in the description below, enter GuitarZero2Hero at checkout, and you'll get your discount. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave your thoughts, comments and questions below, and your requests for Throwback Thursday, and I'll see you next time on GuitarZero2Hero. Cheers.